Fellow travelers, it's Mickey Gold. If you have anxiety, you have a superpower. Now, I know you might be thinking to yourself, whoa, 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 whoa. It does not feel like a superpower. It feels like a super curse. Well, superpowers can be used for good or they can be used for evil. Now, the thing is, we're super creative if we have anxiety because we're taking something from the past or something that could happen and projecting on the future. Now, Stephen King, his creativity doesn't even rival yours. I mean, he writes a book every year, a couple of years, whatever the case may be, and we might be writing the story over and over all day long in way different crazy scenarios. So the thing is if we have the power to create all this anxiety inside us by projecting something into the future, we can create calm and peace inside of us by projecting something that we want. Now, sometimes with anxiety, we have a fear of being disappointed. So sometimes we don't dream big or think the best possible thing because, well, we might be disappointed. It might not happen like that. But we have no problem dying 1,000 deaths, and having falling on the face and fear and mortification and all that stuff. But forbid that, we aim high and we kind of land somewhere in a good place, a decent place. And the thing is, if we've lived something over and over again, that can wear us out. So by the time we get to whatever this thing that's giving us anxiety, if it's something that we have to do, by the time we get to that place, we're going to be like a hamster on speed in a hamster wheel, because anxiety does that to you. And then by the time you get to that place, you don't have the energy, you don't have the creativity, you cannot perform your best, whatever the case may be. And it might be closer to not maybe death, but like one of your worst case scenarios where you're mortified, fall on your face, whatever the case may be. So we can start to use all that creativity, all that energy, and send it into a place that makes us happy. You can even write stories. You can do comedy. A lot of the best comedy is absurd. Like dark black comedies are absurd because they take like really like the most absurd things and, play it out. And so when we see stuff, when we can laugh at stuff, it takes the sting out of things. And then also when we voice stuff or create stuff, when we put out there what we're afraid of, what our anxiety is, a lot of times that takes some of the sting out of it. It's kind of like that thing about at nighttime you come upon a rope, but you don't know it's a rope and you think it's a snake and you're totally freaked out. And the next morning you come when it's light out and it's a rope and you know that now it's a rope, and then you can never again be scared that it's a snake because you know it's a rope. Same thing when we kind of express that. The more we express our anxieties, it takes some of that zing out. So if we can express it in some way, some creative way, that's amazing. And we can use our creativity to run through our scenario. So say like you have to give a speech in front of people. And so what we do is don't imagine people in their underwear. I don't know why that's a thing. But you can imagine that somebody who you love, that you can do no wrong, that they love every little thing you do. If you pass gas, they're like flowers type of thing. Like it might be, and you might not have a person like that. You might have a cat or a dog. The way your cat or dog looks at you, no matter what you do, they're like, yeah, 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 I love it. So just imagine that you have a room full of that looking up at you and that you feel comfortable, that you feel relaxed because the person that you love and that you feel most comfortable, you can sing weird songs and do all sorts of bizarre things. The same with our cats and dogs. I sing to my dogs all the time really bizarre songs and have no shame. And but so if I imagine that, like for right now, if I was sitting here talking to my dogs, I would have no problem worrying about if I mess something up, whatever the case may be. So run through what you want to do over and over again and imagine getting that yay, and good girl type of thing at you. Imagine how you would look, how you'd feel in the best case scenario. Give yourself that best case scenario because that's going to build up positive energy. So it can be anything. Run it through because you know what? We're generally running it through in the negative. So why not send it the most positive? Because worst case scenario, you aimed a little high, but you ended up here instead of here, but it's better than just crashing down to earth, right? So, stuff like that, and how we speak to ourselves. When we feel anxious, we say, I feel anxious, not I am. We want to cut that away. We don't want to claim that as a little name badge. We want to be like, hey, I'm having that feeling. That's okay. So, because a lot of times that feeling will let you know when you're projecting something and you're using your creativity, your superpower for evil rather than for good. All right, guys, peace, love, namaste.